Hello everybody. Today I am going to make a short video where I will explain the details that I have including the introduction about my work and the details and my experience and how I will what would be the role of coding in the teaching for kids and everything. So, first of all, I would like to introduce that this is Tariq Jamal, and I have finished my PhD from King Abdulaziz University, Saudi Arabia in 2007. And after then, I have moved to Shantou University Medical College in China, where I pursued uh, postdoctoral fellowship for around 2.5 years. And it was a really good experience for me to work with different nationalities and learning about the science in the different ways, and helps in making me more understanding about the scientific concepts with the practical approach. So this is my brief background about my work and about my introduction. And as far as since I have applied for the teaching position, so as far as teaching is concerned, I have been a faculty for around 2 years in a coaching institute in New Delhi. It was in 2010 to 2012, and where I was teaching chemistry for the faculty A level. I mean grade 12, 11, and 12, and for the NEET. At that time there was the AIPMT medical examination. And since the concept for the coding is new even for me also, for the kids, so I think that coding would be the entirely new thing for the kids, and it may helps the kids in learning the scientific concepts in a easier way, and they can even enjoy and they can make the things more interesting for them. And as you have asked me about my failure and how I overcome that failure. So you know that my background is research, and in research, every day we have to face new challenges. Sometimes the same technique causes us some kind of hurdles in our work, and sometimes the same experimental approach makes different results. So we have to follow everything in detail and every step in detail, so that we can avoid any kind of mistake. So the failure is not for me, but for every researcher, is usually the failure in the experimental approach and failure in the results, as not according to your expectation. But the best way to overcome for me is to that I have understood that to repeat the experiment with a very keenly to follow the steps that where I'm making the mistakes and what would be the optimum conditions that I could provide to the experiment for the successful and the positive results. So this was the way that I have overcome the failure of my experimental details. And as far as devotion or the dedication for the coding is concerned, I can dedicate around 6 to 7 hours per day, and I would be available for this time for teaching the students. And my strength is that I always take the criticism seriously, because that and this is I have learned and adapt with, because my background is always with the things that where I have to face the criticism at every steps, even for my results. And if I will defend my results, I have to face the criticism. And I mean, what are my weaknesses? That sometime because in research you have to analyze and criticize the others' results as well. So I usually don't follow that way, and I usually don't criticize. So my professors always ask me. I mean, this is considered as my weakness, because in scientific career you have to have a strong analytical and reasoning approach, where you can even judge and criticize others' work, so that they can improve and make a sound contribution for the science. And my research training, since I'm highly passionate about teaching from the beginning, and the research career helps me in understanding the scientific concepts at a deeper level. And I think that my scientific training would be beneficial for the potential budding scientists or the young kids, so that they can understand the things in a more better and easier way, and with the interesting approach and the simpler manner, so that they can understand the daily life experiments in their studies, and that can help them to excel in their not only in their academics, but for their career also. So these are the things that I want to discuss with you. And as far as the commitment is concerned, I have already finished my existing research project that I was doing in China. So now I'm back in India, so I don't have any other commitment. Now, you have asked me to discuss about the one topic, that is a gravitation, that I chose out of many topics that you have mentioned. So, gravitation is one of an interesting topic for me, and I have to discuss it with you in a very simpler manner, and I don't want to include any technical words. So, guys, you know that in nature, everything work in a specific manner. Like different planets are having a different distance within each other, and in a common example, in the common life, we can see that Newton, the great scientist, what he observed, that the apple falls down from the tree. So I mean, that at that time he observed, he noticed that why this change happened. So later on he worked, and he found that every object has the ability to attract other object. But now the question is that, can the earth attract the apple? Yes, apple could be attracted by the earth, and earth could be attracted by the apple. But you know that the size of the earth is such a big and huge, massive size, that we don't observe the attraction of earth towards the apple. So, in a common example, if you tie a ball at the end of a rope and swing it, and you can observe that as long as you are holding a rope, it is having a circular path. But once you leave the rope, it will go in a straight way. So, what was the reason that rope was attached? I mean, what was the reason that rope was having a circular direction of rotation? Why? Because the centripetal force, a force was existing there between the stone and the individual who is rotating it. So from there we understood that there is some force that makes the balance, that makes the things in a specific manner, so that they can work in a proper way. So, like sun and earth, they are having a specific distance between them. So, what is the distance? Or the moon or other planets? So, why they are not colliding with each other? So, every object has a specific force to keep the universe in a right manner working, as well as in the as well as at a specific direction and its functionality. So this is the basic brief introduction of gravitation. So for gravitation is that it depends on the mass or the weight of the body. Mass and weight is different thing. Mass of the object, as well as for the acceleration of the object at which the two objects are moving towards each other. So more the mass, more the force of attraction could be provided by the object to attract the other object towards itself. So I think that this is a basic introduction that I would like to discuss with the student, although the topic is related to the 10th or 9th grade, but I tried to explain it for the kids of 4th standard. That's all. Thank you very much.